Natasha.
How are you?
Doing very well. How's it going?
I am awesome on this Wednesday. It went so smooth. It literally just said PocketSuite sent you notification, then I got in. It wasn't even a delay.
Gotta love IG Live. So Natasha, I did a little bit of a preamble to let folks know what we're going to talk about today. You have really sort of set the stage for folks on automation. We've covered a lot of really cool things. The 3 R's is something that doesn't get covered often, but we know can be game changing. 3 R's are reviews, referrals, and retention. Can you talk to us a little bit about what each of those things are and how do you think about them in relation to each other?
They're all married. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I want to stop. Yeah, so reviews, referrals, and retention are all related because if you have really good, okay, let's go backwards. Retention. You're taking care of your clients extremely well, rolling out the carpet, giving them the wow factor, allowing them to love your brand. You're going to get retention. Okay, they're going to keep coming back for more and more, and then also they're going to want to come back for more because they know that you're reliable. They know exactly what and their expectations are always wow. You're giving them more than they thought. So those are key elements in your clients. Do what you say you're going to do and make it. That's my style. And then when you wow them, that was one of my mistakes is I'm like, oh, my clients love us every day. They're always singing our praises. And then I don't ask for the review. So then I know that they're happy, but I'm telling the world that they're happy.
Right.
And that's the sales and our reviews are major contributors, like providing, 3 lineup is going to go with us. So making sure you're asking for that review. The only way to actually ask for the review is in your process. I promise you guys, make it you're going to TJ Maxx and you were checking out the line and you say, yes, don't forget to give me a review. That's the only way you're going to have it. As you guys know with PocketSuite, so now as soon as they finish service with us, it has our Yelp and Google link, and they go ahead and knock it out. So then our third one, retention reviews. And is that your sound or my sound?
No, your sound is so much better now. That's great. I think you put your earpiece in. That's
yeah,
great.
I heard echo.
Okay.
Yeah, so reviews, we went over retention, we went over reviews. What was the third one?
Referrals.
Referrals. Same thing. Just as you're asking for the review, you got to ask for the referral. Hey, how's everything going? I'm so happy that you're a customer of ours. It's been amazing servicing you. It's been amazing having you part of our family. Listen, if you know friends or family that could benefit from this same service, please share. Please spread the word, and I would love to incentivize you by doing so just because you've been so amazing. We use our clients as brand ambassadors, just in the online world where we have affiliates. Well, in your B2C world, you can have brand ambassadors. And those are your raving fans who love you, who use you every single day, that you retain as a client. They are more than happy to refer everyone to you. But you kind of have to keep it at top of mind for them. Because what I notice is that people are hanging out and they kind of say, oh yeah, we know somebody, it's kind of casual. But if you actually make it official and calling them a brand ambassador, it's something that they're more conscious of doing. And they're just naturally more aware than versus saying, oh yeah, if somebody asks me, hey Natasha, what do you think? I'll then say it. But if I'm part of the system, if I'm a brand ambassador, it's going to be top of tongue all the time.
So how do you think about them in sequence? Does reviews come first? And, is there a break point where if they give me this level of a review, then I ask them for a referral, or are they independent? You might be asking them for a referral irrespective of the review level.
Yeah, I always think retention comes first, because if you're just a new business owner and you're servicing your first client, give them the wow factor, take care of them. And once you have one client, of course, once they love you, then you can obviously ask for a review. and ask for referrals. So it's not like one or two. You literally service them well, and as soon as you get a client, ask for a review and ask for a referral.
Same
you
time.
Keep your business going. It's a whole circle.
Virtuous
You know
circle.
how I like the machine to keep going. It's a whole thing, right? You take good care of them, you get the review, you get a referral. You rinse and repeat, you get another client. You take great care of them, you get the review, you get a referral. And that's how you keep your business going for legacy and generational wealth versus just having, oh, well, they know about us, but not everybody else knows about us. That's what I find a lot with brands is they do not have that retention, referral, review process just standard in their day-to-day operations, and they miss the mark every time. I mean, I know businesses right now that service thousands of clients. I mean, you and I see it in the PocketSuite app. We know how many times their clients come through their system, and then we go on Google and look at their reviews, and it's like 3. And we're like, your clients love you on Instagram. Like, we see that. They love you on Facebook. But why is Google not speaking the praises that we know that's happening? And it's literally just a missed mark by not asking for the opportunity.
What, like, as you think about like what's reasonable, some people get demoralized. It's like, well, I asked 10 clients and no one gave me a review. No one responded. Like, what's reasonable in terms of response rate and like a follow through rate on reviews and referrals?
I mean, there's no like reasonable rate. I just keep asking. So I literally have a client. Every time someone asks me about reviews, I always mention her. I have a client who loves me to death. We're like besties. You know, she has like a catering service in the city that I use. Her dog came to my house. We service him twice a day. Like, she sees me all the time. And I'm like, hey girl, don't forget to give me a review. I'll tag her on our automated system. She says, okay, I'll do it. Doesn't do it. Then I'll call her like 3 weeks later. Hey, I'm waiting on that review. I would love for our audience to hear your feedback.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. She doesn't do it. And then I'll hit her up again in 3 months and I'll say, listen, I need Banks on our Google review. I need people seeing his photo because also you can add a picture. And so I kind of softened the pot and I was like, I need your babe on my profile. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. And then she never does it. So, you know, I mean, I've been servicing her for 7 years.
Wow.
She's had multiple staff members in her house, but people are busy. You know, some, no matter how great you take care of them, no matter how much of a family member you believe you are, they just get so crazy. You can give them a link. You can drop it off at the doorstep. They are just, some people are just that way.
Well, and it's funny because you're in such good spirits about it. Other people might say, wow, I'm like really angry that they won't just do this small thing I'm asking.
Listen, I am car business bred. You do not get angry about anything. We do not get angry about, we don't take anything to heart. I mean, people are people. You love them. You do what you're supposed to do. And it's not about, you know, reciprocating something from somebody in order to be great. You're doing it from the genuine sake of your heart. You know you're awesome. If they don't give you a review, it's okay. But guess what? We have to have it as a process because where these 10 clients didn't do it, these 50 clients will.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you're just asking for it because you know what? It doesn't matter. But I keep going. You know, it'll be Halloween, it'll be Thanksgiving, and I'll still shoot my shot. I don't care. And they'll say, oh my God, Natasha, I know. I probably have like 20 emails from you. I'm like, I'll even call them. I do a quarterly follow-up call, and I'm like, hey, just wanted to, because, you know, I believe that we really do a great job on taking care of new clients or trying to bring in new business, but we sometimes forget that loyalty aspect with the clients that have already been with us. So every 3 months, I'll send them like a courtesy subscription box, or I'll get them on the phone and I'll say, hey, how's everything going? They know I'm going to call every 3 months. Still, no review. It's fine. It's just sometimes how it is.
Natasha, we got a question from the audience. They want to know, because you mentioned that you'll go to people's social media pages and there'll be so much engagement with their followers and clients, but then they have very few reviews. They asked, how do you get people on social media who love you? What's the easiest way to get them to like route them to a Google review or a Yelp review, wherever you are routing them?
Yeah, make it part of your process. You guys got to be process master in everything you do, because you have to make it a pattern and a routine. Mind you, the way I coach is not for Natasha to do it, it's for my team to do it. So if we don't make this a day-to-day routine, it's not going to happen. So for us, it's in our pre-qualifying paperwork. As soon as they sign up, that's when you can get all the documents and all the information from them. Even my coaching clients that I coach for B2B, I get their birthdays, I get their address, because I'm going to send them stuff and I'm going to shoot them out on their birthdays. And I say, hey, let's get social. What's your Instagram and what's your Facebook? And they'll give it to you. And then you make it an effort to tag them in stuff you're doing, at them in stuff you're doing, and then engage with their stuff too. You know, go on their page. Again, like I said in the last call, I think it was last week, I had no idea that my clients got a reward in our city for being an esthetician. I would have never known that if I wasn't following her. And she was like, oh my God, thank you for supporting me. I shared it to everybody. I got to rave on her. And it just brought that extra element to our brand. I think we forget what brand means to the relationship, what people say about you when they're not in your face. And so she was like, oh my God, my dog walker, like they just literally shouted me out and sent it over. And she knows that we service thousands of clients. So she was like, really all these people are going to know about it, and they are going to be same women like us who need her services. It's a whole big family. And we all just spread the love throughout each other and get, again, retention.
And if people who are following you who are not yet clients, like they're following you on social, but they haven't yet come through the client channel, is there a reverse commute in terms of how you get them kind of through the process?
Absolutely. And so I think the thing about social media is we people follow us and we usually just like, okay, hey, you're following me, cool. But I made it part of our business. Because again, like I'm really not that great on social media, and I'm really trying.
You're awesome on social media, Natasha. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to get better. I'm like my 2021 fourth quarter, 22, and we're going to get better at this. But we're making it intense. But people who start to follow me, I really try to make an honest effort to at least reach back out, do a video or text or do a voice note and say, hey, thanks for following me. You know, let them know about what you're doing. If we can, you know, help each other out in any way, let me know. So again, just opening the chains, even if you don't catch them on the DM, because for instance, like your followers come in so fast and I'm like, I just missed yesterday's followers. If you miss them, you know, just still get an idea of like going through your feed. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I don't like my follower count too high, because I do try to pay attention to the folks who are in there. I believe in nurturing what you have versus getting a really large audience and then they're lost in the sauce and you kind of can't keep up. I mean, it's great to have the engagement. It's great to have more opportunities, but it's even greater to really nurture the people who are there, nurture them, and then add on. So reach out to your followers. They're going to be following you. They're peeking in, you know, and I have a lot of clients too, you guys. This is a missed opportunity. I have a lot of clients who follow me but do not engage, but they're still peeking. They're still peeking. And then next thing you know, on my booking, they booked like for my high ticket program. I'm like, what the heck? This person has never talked to me ever. And next thing you know, they just booked my high ticket program. They're like, I'm in. And I'm like, okay. So don't think that just because someone's not engaging with you, they're not watching. They are.
I've heard someone told me this quote, never frown because you don't know who's falling in love with your smile.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, I love that because I'm a smiler. Oh my God, I got to make a t-shirt with that one.
That's great. So, you know, you've talked about a lot of things associated with giving love to clients. And I think we would all love to do all of these things. What is reasonable in terms of the economics associated with, like, how are you budgeting for like the quarterly calls, the gifts, the time that you're investing literally every day in making sure folks are kind of getting nurtured?
Yeah, it's really not that expensive. Obviously, Instagram, Facebook, social media is completely free. I run my business without me. So my job is to work on sales, marketing, and follow-up. So where most people work 40 hours a day, I'm the CEO. I don't clock that time. So I usually will save myself the fun stuff. You guys know me. I don't get to talk to humans and I miss that. So I'm like, I'm taking that job. I'm going to be calling the people. You know, it doesn't cost me anything. But even if I can, I have virtual assistants. I have my team. I cross-train the people that we work with and they're able to do it. Usually I will include an extra 2 hours, 2 days a week on everyone's schedule. just so everyone's not like burnt out with the same task. And, you know, minimum wage or living $15 an hour, something comfortable, you know, just for quick follow-up stuff. Again, a virtual assistant would love to do that kind of stuff for you. I don't believe in getting your high performance team to do the like, hey, don't forget to follow up. You know, it's like that kind of stuff is all virtual assistant. There's virtual assistants in the Philippines now who specialize with this for literally $6 an hour. Like there's no excuse not to have a touch point on your client at this point.
That's awesome. So, you know, many folks in like, I would say like service businesses that are like one and done, like your wedding planner, like hopefully you're only, you know, engaging with your wedding planner once. They see kind of retention as sort of like, well, I'm not really retaining. It's kind of a one and done. They see reviews and referrals as more of like an offboarding sort of strategy, not sort of as an ongoing nurture strategy. So how can you kind of help people who do have the one-off kind of business where they're not actually getting repeat business from the same client? How can you help them conceptualize how to use reviews, referrals, and how to even think about retention in that context? You've talked a lot about community building. What does that look like in terms of like, they're done with my actual service, kind of what next? And what's like, in what direction am I nurturing them?
For sure. I mean, we just talked about real estate agents last week. I've lived in the automotive industry as a teenager to an adult. So we know about those one-off clients more than anybody. We buy a house. We don't think you're going to buy a house in another 30 or 15 years. We don't know, right? We don't think you're going to buy another car in 5 years or so. But listen, we follow up with those people. We remember their birthdays. We remember the holidays. We send them instant love cards, and we bring them part of the team. I talk about brand ambassador all the time. I have check marks through systems. So I would say the same thing for like a wedding planner. You also have a check marks through that whole process that you're working with them. Some of the wedding planners, they start, you know, a year out right at this point. So when you have those little check marks that you're working with a client, you need to treat that as a new relationship every single time. So when you're talking to them in the beginning, onboard them, let them know your process. When you check in on cake tasting or dress planning, say, hey, listen, and anytime they compliment you, when you get a compliment, say, hey, listen, of course, we do this every day. If you know friends and family, let us know, or you can find us here. A lot of times people don't realize that the guests are watching you. So they see how amazing you're treating their family member. They're like, wow, well, we have a wedding coming up. Oh, I remembered how amazing that experience was for them. They said nothing but great things. We know who we're going to use. When you create that legacy business, guys, I'm using referrals from my grandpa right now. We got these guys and gals in the family that he's built relationships with, that he has, you know, credit with. And those are our people. Do not underestimate the value of understanding that your guests are paying attention to, and those are the people that you're going to be watching out for. Also, people send their wedding videos out after. They put it on social media, the recap. I mean, there's so many touch points. I mean, I could say it like 1,000. There's so many touch points, especially
so
with
every business has a life cycle with their clients. There's no one and done, no such thing.
No.
Okay,
no.
So final question, Natasha, and I always kind of add the sort of the darker cloud, which is, what do you do when the review isn't great? Like, how do you handle the sort of either push on Google, you know, or if it's not showing up on Google, if they just kind of send you a note saying, no, I'm not going to, and here's why. Like, how do you handle that, and how do you ideally turn it around?
I love that question, Chinwe, because this is going to be the most valuable answer you guys are going to get today. When you get a bad review, do not take it personal. I know it's going to be really hard. When I got my first bad review, I think I had dreams about it. I literally had dreams about it. I was like, oh my God, what could we have done? What could we have changed? I mean, I played it, and I played it in my head over and over because I really don't like bad review. And mind you, I was pregnant and all kinds of things, and I was like, this guy was just special.
Right.
No, not even me. I was just like, what did you expect? The guy was expecting me to come to his house like 8 months pregnant, like personally.
Oh, no.
It was something totally crazy. But anyhow, it happened. And I was even in the hospital. His partner knew I was in the hospital. Like, it was a whole thing. So don't take it personal, number one. And when you respond, you're responding for the audience and not for the client. You do have to respond publicly, but you're responding to the audience and via your process. So just explaining the process, obviously be sincere, apologize for whatever happened, reach out to the client and say, hey, I just received the review from you. You know, I just want to know, is there anything that we can do to fix it or what happened? I'm sorry if something slipped through the cracks. So that's typically what happens. You have a grand day, everything's amazing. And then that one day something slipped through the cracks. Try to get them on the phone, try to talk it out with them. Half the time, clients may go in and change the review or say, you know what, okay, I probably didn't receive it the way I thought it was. Let me go ahead and update it. Either they'll just remove it, or they'll say what they felt and then they'll edit it at the bottom of what the owner called me and we were able to resolve this, right? They'll add it so you can see the full story, which transparency is always really great. But if you cannot get on the phone with the client, they're like, do not call me, you're blocked for life. Respond via your process. So when future clients come in, they know exactly how you operate, and then they can decide if you're going to be a good fit or not. Don't go in attacking the customer or you said, he said. It's literally like, thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate the time that you took to write this review. Even if it's bad, you appreciate the time. And however, this is what our business does in these circumstances. This is what our clients can expect. And this is what happened. I literally have 2 bad reviews, I believe. That one when I first started. And then I have another one where the client literally booked us and she forgot. Like, she filled the paperwork out and everything, and then she forgot. The staff member shows up in the house, takes her dog out, and then she gets home and she's like, where's my dog? And like, on a walk. And mind you, we send reports live when we show up. So she got a notification when we showed up. She got a notification when we left. We're like, have you been not getting the alerts? Like, it's almost impossible not to know what's happening. Anyhow, she wrote a review that we stole the dog or something. And like, literally, we do get clients currently this day and they say, I love your reviews. I saw a couple funny ones. Like, they literally say the word funny. I'm like, okay, well, don't say funny. I'm not trying to, do that. But they also kind of can get a sense of who's, up there, who's down here, So just keep it political. Yeah, keep it to the facts, keep it to process. They'll know. It's okay. It's okay to get a bad review. I personally kind of like them. I don't like when we have all 5, so I'm like, we're normal over here. Okay, we're regular
It looks like
people.
you're looks like you're unreal, right? Yeah, I always say that you respond to the bad reviews in a way that makes the next person reading it feel like this is how they would treat me if if this happened to me. So it feels like it's professional and it's like, oh well, that's reasonable. So that's awesome, Natasha. As usual, you have schooled us. We've been talking retention, reviews, and referrals, folks. The 3 R's. We're gonna drop some nuggets in the comments, so you guys who are coming on a little bit late can hear or see some of the gems that Natasha shared with us today.
Yeah, I never get to read the comments. Let me check through. Oh, I always see. Yeah, thank you. Words of wisdom. I'm always. They happen so fast, and Instagram doesn't even let you see them when it's posted.
It's rolling. They're keeping it moving. Thanks as always, Natasha.
No problem.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Talk to you next time.